This is a 2008 Ford Taurus X SEL, and I definitely thought it had a transmission clunk problem. It was going approximately maybe 38 miles an hour on a slight incline, and I would feel the transmission go clunk, like it was shifting from 5th to 4th or 6th to 5th. I'm not sure. It was either 4th, 5th, or 6th. It's when I felt it was on a slight incline and you feel a clunk. And I definitely 100% bet money on that it was a transmission problem, for a fact. And it ended up to be a misfire in the engine. Your transmission clunk has nothing to do with the transmission. This is my problem and my solution. You might have a transmission problem, but this one, it had a misfire in the engine, and that's what the clunk, it felt like a transmission problem. So it is a misfire. And so what I did was I took out all the spark plugs, and to get these ones are easy to get at the front three, but the ones in the back, you can't get to them unless you take off the intake manifold. You have to take off the intake manifold. There's no way. So there is a video out there, not by me, Tech Macaloco, I believe, that shows you how to remove and replace this intake manifold, and he was doing spark plugs is what he was doing. But you have to take off this part here to get at the back, get at the back 6 coilover plugs back there. And let's see, here's the spark plugs. This one's a new one right here, and it's an NGK. And really, I'd have to tell you, you should get original spark plugs. I'll tell you why. Because you should get original Motorcraft. Because these components are supposedly, the same, direct replacements, but they're not the same. They're really not the same. The length on, maybe the length on this threaded section, and stuff may be the same, and all this is the same. But if you stick a scale right here up to where it meets the head, when you stick it in the cylinder head and tighten it up, there, them are matched up right there. Look up here. They are different lengths on the top portion, and to me it would make a difference. I mean, even though this engine is working with the NGK and it's fine, I still don't like it, because inside where the coilover plug meets this, there's supposedly a spring in there. There's a spring in here that hits the top of this. But to me, it's just not worth it. I have NGKs, it works, but I recommend stay with original Motorcraft spark plugs as replacements. If I had to do it again, I'd be doing Motorcraft. I love NGK, but you can see there's a difference in the length on the top portion, above the head, not in the cylinder head. In the cylinder head's fine. And I tell you this, the gap on the bad plugs, if I can get, I don't know if you can see that or not. The gap on the plugs was 73 thousandths. Factory gap is 51 thousandths to 57 thousandths. I set the gap on the new plugs to 54 thousandths, which is right in the middle between 51 and 57. I set it to 54. But them bad plugs were 73 thousandths. Let me get a marker. There's the electrode. I'm even videoing this. There's the electrode, and the center electrode was worn very badly. It should have came out to here, and it was down here. And even this here, this curved little part, it had a cupped section in here. So the total gap in here was 73 thousandths. And the new spark plugs, I made them 54 thousandths. That's what I put the new ones to. That's what it was. It was definitely a misfire in the engine. If you looked at the fuse to the ignition, you can also see this could be a telltale sign. If you want to look at this first, if you look at that fuse right there, there's blackness on there. I have never seen that. There's blackness on them, even though the fuse did not blow. It never blew, but it has blackness on there, and I think that's a sign of stress, that, you know, the spark plug gaps are too big. It's trying to fire, and it kept putting more and more stress on, even on the fuse. To me, I put in a new fuse, 15 amp fuse. I put a brand new fuse in, changed all 6 spark plugs, set them all to 54 thousandths, which is right in the middle. 54 thousandths. It's 51 to 57, but I set it to 54. Here's some torque specifications for you if you wanted that. The COP bolt is 62 inch-pounds. The spark plug is 133 inch-pounds. The tightening sequence on the intake manifold, this is what you got to do too. Tighten that one first, that one second, that one third, that one fourth, that one fifth, and that one sixth. I don't know how good this video is because it's in the sun. And here is the NGKs that I put in there. I'm not telling you put in NGK. I don't recommend it. Put in the factory plugs. This is what I used. I know it says quantity 4. I put in 6 NGK G-Power. So this is what I used, but I recommend you put in Motorcraft. Put in the original Motorcraft Platinum. And here's intake manifold gaskets right here. These are the intake manifold gaskets that you're going to need when you take off the intake manifold. And I got this from Advance Auto. Advance Auto intake manifold gaskets. So that's what you got to do. Change the spark plugs, change the fuse, 15 amp fuse, which is over here in this box. I think it's this one. I believe it's this one. It's been a while. I haven't